I'm swishing the button there, Carl. I'm swishing the button, but I would say at this side of it, it's like Houston, we have a problem. Um,
Still standbying, I think.
well, it should stop
Oh, no,
standbying.
we're on.
It should stop standbying, but having a weird, I don't know, it's doing weird things for me. Because right, obviously, you know, we stream this and we stream this through YouTube. Sorry for everyone watching that you've arrived in the middle of a technical discussion, but this is a new one for me. So I have this like creators window, the studio window in YouTube, where you get to manage everything. I can see the chat. Morning, Joel. There's Crooked Dice. Morning, Graham Rigg. The weird thing is, I get to see a little screen, sort of know what's happening on screen. It gives me a little window of here's the video. Yeah. And it literally just changed to this video is private, so I can't see it.
Well, I can. I've got my little YouTube window open, and everything seems to be there. So I'm hoping we're alive.
Yeah, it's just really odd. I've flipped over to YouTube, just like the ordinary channel, and indeed we seem to be there. And currently we have 5 or 6 concurrent viewers. So
Graham says he can see us.
So. Yeah, fair play. It's really weird. I would show you it if I could, but it's odd. They're not allowing the editor to view his own feed.
But no, I had similar problems just logging in this morning, so maybe something's gone a bit peculiar. I don't know.
I blame the Tinternet. The Tinternet's at fault.
I almost certainly. Anyway, how are you?
I'm phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
I found my Escape from New York T-shirt, so all is right with my world again.
Is it falling down the back of a cupboard or something?
Pretty much, yeah.
I bet a haircut, almost. It's a bit there, but it's there's no product on it, so it's just flopping still at the moment.
Well, you know, you definitely need to use something to stop the flop.
Yeah, well, I know. You can tell me about it. It's any aids that I can use would be good. But it's she you know when you go in there and they cut it for you, and she did it, and it looked all like swish and lovely, and she put like a side parting in it and everything. That looks quite good. She said, "I've gone for a Peaky Blinders for you." I went, "Oh, all right, yeah, okay. I can live with that." And I strutted down the street, and then I washed it, and next day, rather than Peaky Blinders, it was a bit more
Beano.
It's from Schindler's List, to be absolutely honest with you. When I tried it, it wasn't looking great.
Yeah, you need a bit of product in there, mate. You've got to look after it, you know. I didn't go to the barber's. I just sat in the kitchen floor cross-legged at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Two at once.
Chopper, Marlowe, Shakespeare, the greatest hero of them all. Yeah, forgive me, folks. It was just crass laziness. What's 2000 AD got to do with crooked dice? I don't know. I just like the picture.
You ever kept on topic?
Well, I'm keeping on topic because there's a comment there. Chopper, my favorite 2000 AD character of all time. From Grey Primer again. Remember, he was with us like all day during the live stream.
Yes. Yes.
Nicholas. Nick. Pretty sure it's Nick. Joe Lawson is apparently forgotten what haircuts are like, which is weird because he's practically bald.
Well, you see, my lockdown happened, and my appointment was meant to be the next day. So she phoned me up and went, "Oh, you're fourth on the list." fantastic. You know what it was like last? I was like a 14-year-old schoolboy's haircut. It was awful.
I thought your hair was beautiful.
Well, you're only human. Don't fight it. But even so,
I can't fight it anymore. Now I feel like singing one of the Eurovision songs to you. Have you watched it?
My Lovely Horse. You need to take your pick.
Well, no, it's my latest sort of shtick is Eurovision, the Fire Saga story.
Is it any good? I've not seen it.
It is phenomenal. It is
Really?
awesome. It is epic.
I like a bit of Will Ferrell, but he is a bit hit and miss.
He is straight down the middle of the road with this one. It is fantastic. I mean, in what other film could you get away with stuffing a toy rabbit down your jocksters in order to bulge it out and make it look bigger because everyone likes the performer to be big.
I did see a bit of a trailer for it the other day, and it did look quite good. Rachel McAdams is in it as well?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's Ja Ja Ding Dong. My love for you is getting big and long.
Is that a song?
Yes, it is. Repeatedly. That's what she said.
Do you remember? I can't remember what it was. It was Alan Cummings, and he played an air stewardess. Do you remember? An air steward, and it was a Scottish thing with Shauna Sprittle. Oh, but they entered a Eurovision thing for Scotland called Piff Paff Poff. Don't remember that?
Can't think of that.
Piff Paff Poff, we've got to have it off. Piff Paff Poff, we've got to have it off. Piff Paff Poff, we've got to have it off. We've got to have it off till we cough. That was the song. Brilliant. There you go. It's not as good as My Lovely Horse, but it's pretty good.
No, it's nothing's as good as My Lovely Horse.
No, but it was a solid, silver medal for that one. I think that's how Eurovision works. I think they get medals.
What are you like?
I don't know.
And what am I like? We did promise we would stay on target this morning, and literally from the off, I haven't even managed it. You haven't managed it.
I could tell you something else exciting off topic.
Oh, go for it then.
In the little village where I live, we have got probably one of the last back projected cinemas. It's called the Kinema in the Woods, right? And it was put up in the 30s, and it's still there. And they've just added another screen to it. And to try and get trade back in, because they opened up this weekend, they're showing some old movies. So last night we saw Empire Strikes Back on the big screen.
Every cinema's doing that, dude. That's not news.
No, but it was good. It was good and enjoyed. And I don't know if you know this. I won't spoil it. There's a twist at the end. It's brilliant.
No way.
Yeah. Wait for it. It's really good. I'm seeing Shawshank on Sunday.
That's like Paddy and Billy went to the cinema, and it was a John Wayne film, and John Wayne's riding his horse towards the cliff. And Paddy leans over and says, "I bet you £10. He goes over the cliff and the horse. Paddy says, or Johnny says, "You're on. I'll see that." So riding along, and right enough comes the cliff and straight over the cliff. So Paddy's getting out the town. He says, "I feel kind of bad telling you that. I seen this actually last week, and I knew he rode over the cliff." And his mate says, "To be fair, so did I, but I thought this week he wouldn't be stupid enough to do it twice." And I can tell that because I'm from Ireland. So there you go. Anyhow,
right.
I'm sure we were. Yeah, Chopper Marlowe and Shakespeare. Anyone worth their sausages knows that. 1 point for Chopper's real name. It's not even worth a point.
No prize.
You'll get a point if you tell me what tar block he lived in. Anyway. Oh, morning, Justin. Justin's there now too. He's lying in bed probably with his morning toast, enjoying us.
Yeah, ding dong apparently.
Yeah. Oh, you've got to
I'm
see
gonna
it.
have to watch it now.
You have to see it, and it's completely innocent until you actually listen to the lyrics, and then you think, no, oh no, and now my child is singing that. Do you even know what you're singing? Please, no, don't sing that in front of your granny. gets worse. Right, now, here, talking about a surprising twist at the end. You have obviously done a set of figures that are, how can I put this? They're reminiscent of an old cartoon show, which, for no apparent reason, I'm about to mention.
Okay.
Okay? So, Thundercats. Do you remember Thundercats on TV?
I've never heard of it. I've never heard of that show. I'm aware of some Beastman heroes,
Right.
but
Well,
that's as far as I would be able to remember.
here's an interesting thing. I'm going to throw a picture up on the screen for you, okay? And of course, I've no idea when it'll actually appear for you. I'm shooting in the dark here, big lad. You know, we could do a tip wibbly wibbly timey wimey thing and try to guess.
But I can see some nude anthropomorphic creatures now that have turned
can
up.
you? Right, okay. So that's the Thundercats in episode 1.
Yeah.
You'll notice that they're all naked, but none of them have bits, obviously.
I'm not entirely sure how Wily Kit and Wily Cat have come into creation.
Well, it's kind of weird that they were then, for some strange reason, they then started wearing clothes because they had to.
Well, you can see panty lines on them, you know, around the.
That is fur seams.
Well, it's either that or they're wearing
their fur
kind of leotards over the top.
But now here's the interesting nugget. You see the little chap at the end there with the flamey orange hair with the black tuft in it?
Yes.
That's Lion-O.
Yes, because he's meant to be like a wee boy, isn't he?
Yes, and then they all go into suspended animation before they arrive at Earth 3.
Yeah.
Okay? Where he is a fully grown man. But none of the rest of them have got any older.
It's because he's got special magic lion powers.
Special magic lion powers. Yes.
Ding dong.
My Zha Zha Ding Dong. Now, there he is, the little whippersnapper. Before he becomes a 13-year-old boy in the body of a fully grown man. That's what he becomes. But after about 4 or 5 episodes, they kind of drop all that and forget all that, and it never happened.
Yeah.
Now, you remember that chap there, don't you?
I do. Yes, look at him.
That was their kind of like their boss, their dad. He only ever really appears after the first episode as a ghost. But did you know that he actually is the reason that the Thundercats' home planet blew up?
Yes, he does something horribly wrong, doesn't he? And it all explodes.
He essentially done chuck the ring in the volcano with a sword.
Yeah.
That the sword then cut the planet in half. That I found astoundingly weird.
Well, I mean, we've all done that.
Who hasn't cleaved their own home planet in half with a magical sword?
I did it 3 times last week.
You're a complete failure if you haven't done. Why is Joel sending me messages when he's watching us live, or does he not remember? I'm like, Joel, you're literally watching us and you're sending me picture messages. What do you think I am?
Card will block, so you know stuff.
Mumra.
The ever-living?
The ever-living. Mumra. The human being in the show.
Is he?
Yes.
Did not know that.
Because Earth 3 isn't a place. It's a time period. It's the third age of Earth.
It's a state of mind.
No, it's literally the third age. Mumra is an Egyptian mummy who is eternal. And all his mutant minions are the remnants of mankind. They are mutated through time.
Is that the origin? I did not know that bit.
Verified by the fact that Merlin himself, the only survivor of the first age, is also still there.
Almost like it's a bit of a shit backstory, isn't it?
Almost like it's a cartoon and you can do whatever you want. like
It's a
big magic swords that do a different. The magic sword is essentially the sonic screwdriver. It does whatever the writers want it to do.
yeah.
It's
It's
list.
have you ever watched the He-Man documentary? The toys that made us one in
Yeah,
there. I mean, that's the background on that is sketchy at the best of time with kind of He-Man in there. But when they go, yeah, we wanted a toy that stinks, so we created Stinkor, and it's like, well, brilliant.
yeah,
We He-Man.
yeah. And like the elephant dude that squirts out his rather large elephant nose and stuff. It's all
Yeah, exactly.
all weird. Why does he even look like an elephant? But here's the guy I feel sorry for in the whole show. I now have a deeper appreciation and sympathy for Schnarf.
Oh God, what's happened to him?
No, no,
Was he
no.
originally?
Right, you know the way Schnarf was a complete imbecile. Schnarf was essentially that sidekick, like what was
Yeah,
it?
comic kick.
Auric and He-Man, or not Auric? What was it called? Whatever.
Orko.
Orko. Except Schnarf was essentially a guard dog, young Lionel's protector. He was there to see him through his fever and keep him safe and stuff.
I see.
And then he
But
grows up and he's just discarded and treated like some sort of idiot friend.
I mean, again, we've all been there.
Animals treating another animal which is sentient as a second-class citizen.
Oh, Barrick. That's the kind of that is why Earth 3 got chopped in half by a magic sword, quite frankly. Wasn't worthy.
Yeah. It's just they were clearly a bad people, and let that be an end of that. So there we go.
Thank Safari Joe is all I say. In order. Safari Joe. There's one.
I think they've been arguing over as to which tar block Marlon Shakespeare originated from. You
Right,
see,
okay.
I was just being a git. I threw it in there. I can't remember. Who knows? One of them. It's probably in the wiki.
Okay, this is which just truth or dare now. I'm gonna chuck this in for you. This week I revealed an area of my geekdom that I have no interest in. And I've actually got two of them, which may end this Saturday morning and see 7 TV forever. All right. Because the first one is Pratchett. Can't be doing with Pratchett. He was the pretender to the Douglas Adams throne, and he was the anti Douglas Adams. Douglas Adams did like one book every decade, and Pratchett's there knocking them out
every week.
Dozen.
Every week.
Right. I tried to read Colour Magic about 3 times, got about 10 pages in, can't be doing with him. Never gone back to him. Right. This caused outrage, and people keep referring to the City Watch, and I've no idea what they're talking about. Do you want to know my second one?
2000 AD.
Huh?
2000 AD. You've no idea about it.
My best friends used to get it, and the comic sat there on the side every week for years, and I was very familiar with it and the characters in there. But I've read half a dozen issues and little stories in my life, and I don't know why. I've got a Marvel and DC collection which is huge, but I don't know why I never went there.
It's because you see, it's like if you give an infant sweet stuff early and first, they'll just look for the sweet stuff forever. So you were given the saccharin, which is like Marvel, DC. Oh, we can redesign our characters every month if we want. Oh, new origin story. Oh, let's just rewrite the whole history of everything twice. Woo! And so you just sort of sucked that in and kind of went with it. Whereas at the same age, your friends were learning how bad Thatcher was.
So I had Star Wars Weekly. And Doctor Who Weekly, and that was probably the limit of the budget that my nan could afford in there. 2000 AD somehow with its slightly anarchic cover. I'd imagine my grandparents would never repeat that.
Oh, there was issues of 2000 AD that my own mother kind of went, "What is it you're reading?" And you would like flick it open to I don't know. Like the Shaco polar bear story or the one about dinosaurs and say, "It's all about history, Mum." And you go, "Oh, that's fine then." Never mind, be pure, be vigilant, behave. Why's that lady barely got any clothes on?
Yeah, it makes no sense. If you look at my geek CV, you'd go, well, he must have read that. No, and I can't explain it to this day.
You see,
Because
I would say, given the things I know you kind of like, and that's reflected largely in like 7TV stuff.
yeah,
I would say if you were to go back and revisit, like in collected works, the likes of the ABC Warriors or Mac 1,
yeah, yeah.
you would, because Mac 1 is kind of the $6 million man.
Yeah, I'm familiar with all of these things, but only secondhand, and it feels a cheat to kind of go, yeah, I love that, where I didn't come to it at the time.
Well, no, and listen, it's like all these things. I remember reading as a lad. I remember reading things like the VCs and stuff like that there in the old issues, and literally I would read Dread, and if Rogue Tripper was in it, I would read Rogue Tripper, and then the comic was set aside, and it was like later on when you were in the privy, you would go and you would read. And you would literally read downwards. It was after them. It was Tharg's Future Shocks if they were in there, and then and then and then and then.
I did
And
the same. The stuff that I had, I would read the Star Wars strip, and then I would always read Tales of the Watcher next, which were reprinted in the back, which I absolutely loved. And then I'd maybe go. I don't think I even read Star Lord first time round.
yeah,
Like you come back to it like 10 years later. Oh, I'll read that bit now.
yeah. It's like I was not a big Dan Dare fan. You remember Eagle Comics and stuff?
No, I wasn't either. He's a bit too straight.
It was kind of weird, and the way I came into it, Dan Dare appeared to kind of contradict itself. I didn't appreciate the time there was like different eras of Dan Dare. But I've read it since, and now I kind of like, oh yeah, you know what? That's quite clever. It's like the old Flash Gordon kind of serial done as a comic strip.
See, I love all that, but even then, I love all of the original comic strips and stuff as well. It's name has just gone completely out of my head. Roy, wrong.
But it's never too late to come back to it, and Dark Horse
true.
isn't a bad comic publisher, Justin. It's just not the best because it's not the galaxy's greatest comic. So no, it's fine to not be in love with these things. I mean, I know that literally the Daily Telegraph and the Guardian are both running with the headline that Karl doesn't like Terry Pratchett. And quite possibly they'll be burning effigies of you on top of bonfires as a result of it.
Sort of wearing like a wide-brimmed hat today, just to kind of claw something back.
It's probably why the light streaming behind you still manages to cast you in shadow. It's because your true darker nature is showing up. Well, since you raised it, I suppose what we should all do now is have a look and appreciate some of the City Watch sculpts that Karl has no idea about, and we can all bask in the glory of what they represent, which is completely wasted on him, like giving sugar to somebody with no taste buds. So yeah, now unfortunately, folks at home, my gallery has decided to do some kind of snafu this morning. So instead of allowing me to manually change the pictures, it's insisting on doing it on automatic. And instead of showing them in order, it's insisting on just throwing them at you as some kind of random confetti. Okay?
Yeah.
So you will see pictures of AC/DC, the not $6 million man and woman miniatures. You will also see the revamped tripod, and I can't make them stay on the screen for you. They will dance before your eyes like people paid to dance before your eyes at a place where people dance before your eyes. Let's do a little dance. You've got double trouble tonight.
See, I do love those. I just said that Mark Evans, right? I've worked with Mark Evans since we first kicked things off years and years ago. And with Mark, all I have to really say is I just like some sort of like classic fantasy town city guard in there with loads and loads of character, and literally that was the brief that I gave him, and this is the beauteous thing that he comes back with.
Yeah, because he has a bit of class and has sat down and gone, well, Karl likes to do
Yeah.
a lot of homages, so I know I'll use the best well-known city watch in the entire planet because there's nobody's not going to appreciate and know who these are.
So are they? Is that what they are then?
I think we would be wrong to say that's what they are. But as 7TB production page shows, people apply the emotion to them for you.
Yeah, it's a happy accident if that's the case.
Don't flatter Joel. Joel does not respond well to emotional support. Just criticize him for having no taste, for being very shiny on top and swimming. That's all you need to know about Joel. He's a lovely, lovely fella, and I love him to pieces. But when you pander to him, he becomes some sort of broken bowl of cereal.
It's now like a broken bowl of cereal. I like that a great deal. This is now like playgrounds now. I'm picking the team. You know, like we're playing football. I'll have him. So,
well, I'm okay because so far I get Gray Primer and Justin, and you've got Joel. So it's still just you against 3.
Yeah, but we can run really fast. You'll never catch us.
No, Joel can't run. But I mean, if you go for an aquatic battle, you'll be fine because he can hold his breath a really, really long time.
Skirmishes, and we will win.
No, he as a swimmer, he's a swimming instructor as well, and he can hold his breath a really long time. I mean, he tells me that every week his wife holds his head under the bath for like anything up to half an hour.
Does that mean he can play with floats whenever he wants?
He practically is a living float. Yes, he has pool noodles where you and I only get like sweet and sour noodles.
He could probably just lay on the big floaty mats for just as long as he wants
and just splash around like some sort of frolicking dolphin.
I can't even imagine such a thing. That's the man's living the dream.
He is Aquaman.
He'd better.
Yeah.
Without
the beard or the hair or the muscles.
I don't know where the trident came from.
Oh, I think he's got a trident. All right, he's got like 5 children.
Yeah, ding dong. Back again.
Anyway, so City Watch. Their class, and I think if anyone's a member of the 7TV Productions page, as you know, Karl is totally open to new ideas and input from the fan base. I, of course, have filled a paragraph of the next suggested characters, and probably much to his annoyance, like 9 people have already hearted or thumbed up my suggestion and then added further to that. So whether he likes Pratchett or not, that's what he's getting.
Where there's got 3 there. We're going to do a big burly sergeant. I don't know if that helps, but that's what I've asked for. And then I'll do another pack, probably of 4, and we might have a female set in there. That probably won't help for whatever you're referencing. But that's what probably happens. But
we'll be calling your big burly sergeant Captain.
Okay.
And that'll be fine. And I'm fairly sure that your sculptor is literally going to make sure that one of those guardsmen is lurking up a back alley with a small stubby cigarette, like some sort of knobs. And and there'll be like a female werewolf and stuff like that there. Yeah, look, you just run the company. We'll make the decisions, okay?
That seems fair.
Yes.
But that's division of responsibility.
Well, considering it's us what's going to be spending the money, I think it's only fair you make the things we want to buy.
That's how democracy works, isn't it?
Probably. Speaking of which, Knight Rider, literally the entire planet. Well, okay, 3 people have kind of gone, when's he doing a kit car, I noticed, on Miniature Addicts Anonymous. So,
does that mean nobody bought the little Christmas decoration of the 156 kit car like what I did?
No, they all forgot to do that.
Fools. Yes, I should do one, really.
I will be going to B&M today and buying all the retro 70s Star Trek action figures, though.
What?
You know the like 70s style dolls, because America doesn't do anything properly.
Miko dolls.
Like the Miko dolls. B&M have all the TOS and TWOC figures.
Get away.
No, really, why would I make that up?
I don't know. It's just like I'm living a dream.
It seems like a very specific and obscure thing to make up to wind you up. If I said they were doing 80s television figures, that would be a good wind up.
They've just reproduced Old Bob from Black Hole as the. We can never get that one.
Yeah, you can get for $5.99 Maximilian from the Black Hole, and his eyes light up and his blade spin round.
And when you really look close,
it's got two human eyes trapped inside it.
Oh, how scary is that? Why did Disney not make more movies like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's totally lost on most people that they're in hell.
Yeah, it's great. I really like that movie.
Yeah, I only watched it again the other week. But no, to get back to Star Trek for no reason. Yes, B&M.
They re-released the Megos.
Kirk in the season 1, the sash uniforms where it kind of comes sideways, the badge is down here. Yeah. Lieutenant Uhura, they've got the Gorn, they've got the Romulan officer, they've got Rathakan Kirk, Rathakan Spock, and I think, pardon me, Rathakan Khan. Other ones do exist, but I don't think B&M have been able to get their hands on those. So you can get Spock, classic Spock, Scotty, proper uniforms, Kirk, McCoy, Chapel, and all the rest. They brought them all out.
So I think I had Spock, and my brother had the Klingon. Like the classic kind of ones in there. Oh, I'd love to get my hands on those again.
Well, I take it you have B&M.
Yeah, but we're 45 minutes away from a B&M, I suppose. But,
seems like a reasonable excuse to go for brunch.
Yeah, brunch. Look what Justin's gone and done.
Chuck can't.
You can't write that without a called response, and then this is on forever now. I can't not respond to that. Oh God! If someone says "stay on target," what do you say? Do you not have that? Stay on target. Stay on target.
Don't do this.
It's one of those quick responses. You can't not do it.
We can't do the stay on target because size nickname is the Death Star Trench Run. I know it's a reasonably strange nickname for somebody, and on any form of public broadcasting, we really can't explore why he's got that nickname. I'll just suggest that you use your imagination.
Oh God! Just gotta call my therapist. Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah. No good. It just impacted on the surface.
Oh dear.
Oh right. My word! This has taken a strange turn this morning. I'm going to stop the pictures. Not because I need to. More for the sake of doing something off target. Yes. But anyway, I digress. Oh, we forgot to kind of qualify there when the pictures were swimming around, but people will have seen it. The slightly tweaked, slightly refined tripod sculpt was up there as well.
Yes, that's the 3D print that White Dragon produced for me, and Ernst has had that back this week and has tidied it up and cleaned it all up, ready for casting. So that is now sitting with MDP. So it's gone from, where's White Dragon? I don't know. From there to Latvia, back to Newport, all in a week. So that's all ready to go, and I'll probably get test casts of that next week, I'm hoping. So that looks looking good. That I like that a lot.
Happy days.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We're getting there. Kickstarter's pretty much on track.
Doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. So I've got books delivered this week, and I've got some other bits and pieces in. So we're making up pledges, and we'll just start sending them out once we've got enough sets of stuff. So get in there.
Apparently, your tripod is the dog's balls, according to Justin.
Is it?
That's a good thing. I'm still a fay with these colloquial terms of endearment.
I mean, you should be, because you're, you've got
Colloquial.
a broad range. You've got a friend whose nickname is Death Star Trench, so I would have thought Dog's Balls is
No,
probably
Death Star Trench Run.
run.
It's got
Okay.
more. It's got more to do with the activity than the actual location.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have brought that back up. We've managed to move on from that. Oh, Karl. You see, if you read more Pratchett, you wouldn't come out with crass remarks like that.
Sure.
No.
Sure.
No, I'm not, because I know what you're like. Every Saturday morning is a dance with death, a little Russian roulette with Karl.
Are you familiar with the term Percy Filth?
I've heard it, but I'm actually only heard it secondhand. I'm not, and it was one of those occasions where you didn't want to ask what it meant because I already look stupid.
Percy Filth is Beryl says this from Whatever Happened to the Lightly Lads, I think. If I'm saying that rightly. So whenever he suggested something a bit kind of off colour, her response would be Percy Filth.
So you were being a bit potty mouth kind of thing. In her view, you were being a potty mouth. Yeah.
Her boyfriend was being inappropriate, which in the late 60s, early 70s, she wasn't having any of.
You see, every day's a school day.
What have we learned today?
Well, I think we've learned more about some of our watchers through conversation rather than what we've learned about each other. If anything, we've just cemented that we're chips of the same block. Justin's just sitting here giving you compliments. Apparently, oh no, he's explaining that it was a compliment. There we go.
I'm a little bit disappointed that we only stopped the Chaka Khan. I thought we were gonna rock that.
Don't do games like that with Justin, because Justin will just play them all day long. I can guarantee you, Justin's not the guy to ever put to the test. Because again, one of our lads, the slightly more appropriate Roger, on one occasion suggested to Justin a text, well, why don't you send us a photograph of it then? And Justin did. And that's all we really need to say about that. That kind of says more than it needs to reveal about it. And what has this got to do with Saturday Morning or 7TV? I don't know. Answers on a postcard to the usual address.
Just to help us have some kind of script to keep to would be good.
Do you know what? I think if you and I had a script, we would still break it. And I think our loving viewers have come to realise that of a Saturday morning, they might get rewarded with a picture or two from Crooked Dice. They may get a teaser of some retro TV discussion or computer game. But what they are pretty much guaranteed is you and I going like Spaghetti Junction at a conversation.
About Percy Filth and finding out that you've got a friend called Appropriate Roger, which is my favourite thing throughout today. It's like you're the Bash Street Kids, and Appropriate Roger is my favourite character so far.
Actually, you know what? I that was more of a descriptive, but now that you've worded it that way, what do you reckon, Justin? Can we stick with Appropriate Roger as a nickname?
I like that. Just a tenth run, Appropriate Roger.
Joel, have to go, lads. Heading kayaking. Tripod looks the mots. You're going kayaking, Joel? Well, Joel,
isn't it?
Yeah,
it's fine.
Joel, whenever your missus says that as part of the kayaking you have to roll over and stay underwater, she doesn't mean for an hour. Okay, so just roll over and come back up, Joel, because you can't afford any more oxygen deprivation. Seriously.
You can't stay away from water. It needs to be. It's like the man from Atlantis. It starts to dry
He does. Quite often, if Joel rings you, he's usually in the bath.
And Fish Boy, he's called himself. So Appropriate Roger, Destrot Entran, Fish Boy. We've got enough here for a super team, easily.
Yeah, I expect miniatures within 2 months. some form of early sculpt.
Was it the Palace of Righteous Justice or whatever it was, the old Harry Enfield one? You've got that sorted.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get the Palace of Righteous Justice. Possibly our secret headquarters might be some kind of back alley garbage can.
The shed of truth, or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
The sewer of righteous indignation.
Right, but I've got to go. I'm afraid I've got orders to run up to the post office.
Yeah, and I need to go to B&M and get some Star Trek figures.
Yeah.
Folks, all 10 or so of you or something like that have been live with this morning, thank you very much. Masked vehicles, minis, yes. You have to reword it though, Justin. He can't just go steal an IP, so you need to do something clever. I second the mask thing. Okay, so everyone loves the mask thing. Let's get the kit car sorted out with them first, and all those ideas from last week. Boys and girls, girls and boys, men, women and children, anything above, below and in between. It has been a pleasure to be with you all once again. It's, as ever, been a pleasure for Karl. It's been okay for me. I don't like to massage his ego. But it's been Saturday morning, 7TV. He is Karl and I am me.
You need a thing. You need a jingle.
Next week we'll write some more. Yeah, well, we've both got musical friends, so I'm sure we can work something out. Right, folks, we're going to roll credits, and as they say in all the best shows, roll credits. Bye-bye.